Lokoz boxing. What a fight. Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, number 3. So we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly in this fight. I want to start off by saying that this fight is an emotional roller coaster. And in other words, this fight can describe the relationship of many people with their spouse. The fight had you thinking that Wilder was starting off very good, winning the first couple rounds, to then seeing Fury take the fight completely. And just as you think that Fury has the victory, Wilder flips the script with a few punches. Then after that, Fury shakes it off, comes back and reclaims the fight and takes victory. Talk about a roller coaster. So we'll start with the good about this fight. The good thing about this fight is that both fighters did not hold back. They gave everything they had. In fact, they were not even withholding in order to avoid getting knocked out. On the contrary, they went and gave everything they had and risked being knocked out, which is why both of them ended up on the floor of the ring at one point or the other. The good for Wilder about this fight is that it really showed how much heart he has on top of the ring. And it really showed how much he's willing to leave it all on the line just to try to get that victory. The good for Tyson Fury is that the fight once again showed Tyson Fury as being this multi-dimensional fighter. This fight, once again, just like his previous fights, showed that Fury has different set of tools and he can choose which tools he wants to bring to the fight. He can box, he can fight, he can become a power puncher. And craziest of all is that somebody that big can move in that way so fast. Another good thing about this fight is that I know there were some people who were really fixed on who was better within this trilogy. To me, that was never an issue because it's quite obvious that Tyson Fury is the superior fighter. But for those that had any doubt, there's your answer. Victory was quite clear in this fight and in the previous fight. I personally think he even won the first fight. Another good point on this that this fight brings is that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are some of the most recent fighters to really just bring the focus back into the heavyweight classes. They're not the only fighters that are doing this, but they are a really big part of why everybody's eyes is back at the heavyweight division again. Now we move on to the bad. The bad is that Deontay Wilder is only going out there relying on his punching power. And yes, that has gotten him to where he's at. He's had a successful career. It's made him money and it's made him a big name. I have no problem with this style of fighting. It's actually quite entertaining and it makes the fight very unpredictable because he could end the fight with one hit or flip it. What's bad about this is that if you don't follow up with learning additional skills, then you just rely on trying to get that punch, that lucky punch. It just really got out of hand in this fight. You can see Deontay Wilder just throwing massive punches and missing and throwing other punches and missing, hoping to catch Fury. This is actually part of the reason that he ended up so exhausted during the fight, is that each of those massive punches he throws out and misses is energy that he's wasting and stamina that he's giving away. Even then, when he did hit Fury, Fury was able to hang with this power. Yeah, he knocked him down, but he kept getting up. And at the end, once Wilder was too tired, his punches were not as powerful. And Fury was just eating them and continuing to dominate the fight. Now we move on to the ugly side of this fight. Personally, I think it was the ugly side of the fight where Tyson Fury kept holding on to Deontay Wilder and putting all his weight against him to tire him out even faster. The referee, Russell Mora, kept telling Fury to calm down with that. And personally, I think that the referee would have been in all his right to take away a point from Fury for continuing to do this during the first half of the fight. And before everybody starts tripping, I know already that Fury's not the only one to do this. There's been many other heavyweight fighters that have done this. It's a strategy. I don't think it's entirely legal within boxing to do that. However, the referee is the one who basically makes the rules during the fights. Or at least he doesn't make them, but he enforces them. And if he chooses not to fully enforce a rule, then, you can't blame anybody but the referee for not calling it. So although this is a common practice that has been done in the heavyweight division for some time, I just think it takes away from the fight. I'm personally not a fan of boxers clenching every 30 seconds. It takes away a lot from the fight, the momentum, and it's really just buying time. And in this case, literally putting weight on the other fighter to drain him of his energy. With all that being said, I know it's a strategy. Some people don't mind it. And at the end of the day, I really don't think Fury needed to do that. He was going to win either way. He has the skills to win. The ugly part of Deontay Wilder, I think, was his stamina, his condition. He gassed out. I know that both Fury and Wilder came in heavier for this fight, but Tyson Fury's condition was perfect. He would come right back out the next round and go at it. Wilder gassed out all too early. In fact, Wilder was doing a great job until he lost his energy. Once Wilder gassed out, he was just swinging and trying to survive. I don't know what it is, whether it was all that extra weight or if he just didn't condition good enough in his training. It appears that Wilder just concentrated mainly on bulking up and having all that strength to just count on that one hit. But that precisely looks like what caused him to gas out after Fury was able to get up from those hits. With all that being said, highly entertaining fight. Let me know what y'all think, what you think was the good, the bad, the ugly. There's a lot more things that could be pointed out, but we ain't going to point them out during this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Lokoz Boxing.